How's it going, Webheads? My name is Ryan Walsh, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a ranking from worst to best of all the DCEU movies. I was going to wait to do this video when we got closer to the Aquaman movie release date, but I'm just really going to go for it and rank all the DCEU movies, even though there's not that many. We got like 5, so I can rank all 5 of them today. So of course, let's start off with the worst one, and the worst one at number 5 is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, in my opinion, is a garbage movie. I absolutely hate this movie from beginning to end, but there are some elements of the movie that I did enjoy, and I still do enjoy watching. Really just when Barry Allen showed up to take on Captain Boomerang, I personally thought that was really cool, and I still enjoy just seeing Batman in these movies. I really like Ben Affleck's Batman, except for in Justice League. I liked him in this movie and also in Batman vs Superman. I thought he was probably the best on-screen Batman, so just seeing him in this movie a little bit was pretty sweet, and I did like actually seeing him take on the Joker and Harley Quinn. I did enjoy that a lot in the movie. I feel like the actors in the movie, like Will Smith or Margot Robbie, or even the actor who played Captain Boomerang, I don't really remember his name right off the bat, but those actors did a pretty good job really portraying their characters and actually bringing them to life for what they had for the source material. It's really corny stuff, so honestly, when we see Deadshot, when we see Harley Quinn or Captain Boomerang, I was really surprised of what they brought to the table with this movie. But overall, the story was just a complete mess. The Joker was so bad. I hated the Joker in this movie. I thought Jared Leto did the worst job with the Joker. Whether he was given that material or that's just what he wanted to do with it, it was horrible. It was not the Joker in my opinion. And the Enchantress as a villain was just overall horrible, but just everything about this movie mainly I just did not like. At number 4, I have Batman vs Superman. Now, Batman vs Superman I definitely enjoy more than most people. I still can watch this movie and still quite enjoy it. I still have to skip a couple parts because I will say the one biggest problem that I had with this movie was that it's so plotty that it doesn't need to be. There's so many plots going on that the regular edition of this movie really just didn't need to be released at all. You didn't need to release that one because it didn't make sense for the entire story. When you see the Ultimate Edition though, that is definitely better. So I guess you could say that really I'm just rating the Ultimate Edition because the Ultimate Edition is just a better film overall because it actually makes a lot more sense than the other one does. And I will say every single villain that showed up in this movie was absolutely horrible, not including Batman if you want to call him a villain in the movie. I don't really think he was, but he still killed a lot of people and he definitely could be seen as the antagonist in this movie. But Lex Luthor and Doomsday are absolutely horrible in this movie. They did a horrible job with both of those characters. I hate them so much. They might as well have just called this Dawn of Justice and left out Batman vs Superman because it was all about the Justice League, but you know how it happened. At number 3, I have Justice League. Now, I definitely like this movie a lot more than most people, and probably a lot of people would put Batman vs Superman above this movie, but I personally really enjoyed Justice League, surprisingly. I was not like the majority of people who hated this movie. A lot of people did not like it. But I will say, the characters like The Flash and Cyborg, when I saw them on screen, I actually really liked them. I thought they were actually really good characters, especially Cyborg. I was going in that movie thinking I was going to see a horrible Cyborg on screen. I did not think I was going to like Cyborg at all, but I really understood his character. I thought they did a pretty good job with the character development they could have done with Cyborg in this movie because he really just wasn't given that much screen time, but from all the other characters, I thought he was probably one of the best characters. Of course, Wonder Woman, she was awesome. But Batman, I will say, Batman was the one that really just, when I rewatched the movie, I don't like Batman in this movie. Batman is not the same as they established him from Batman vs Superman or even Suicide Squad when he was in that a little bit. He's completely different. He's like making jokes and everything, and I don't like that with this Batman because the comedic elements of Batman are really just done well in the comic books if you read some of those, or if you just go back to the Justice League animated series and you see the humor done in there for Batman, that's how you do Batman's humor. But here, it just wasn't funny at all, and honestly, it came off a little cringeworthy. I will say Jason Momoa's Aquaman was really underused in this movie as well, because I thought he could have been doing more, but he really just didn't. And then Superman, I loved Superman in this movie, I really did. The overall story wasn't that great, nothing really amazing, but it was better than what I was expecting. Steppenwolf, probably one of the worst villains, but that's something that I expected going into the movie, so I wasn't really disappointed by that. I just wanted to see a good teen movie, and I felt like I got that. Number 2, I have Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is my number 2. I did love the movie, I really did. I think these two movies that I'm saving for number 2 and number 1 are far superior than all the other ones, but I will say Wonder Woman, I really enjoyed this. Really just thinking about Wonder Woman in a movie, I was thinking before all these other movies came out and we were thinking about a Wonder Woman movie, really just when I was a kid, I was thinking that would be a dumb movie, who would go and see that? But here it is. It was amazing. It really proved me wrong, and something that I didn't think I was really going to enjoy, I did. And honestly, this is something that we really needed because there's a lot more women superhero movies coming down the line because of this one. If this one did not work out, I have a feeling that a lot of other ones wouldn't be coming down the line right now. But I'm really happy this movie worked out, and I'm really happy that Gal Gadot is a great Wonder Woman. She really just did a great job of portraying her in this movie. Patty Jenkins did a great job directing. The overall story is a simple story, but I really enjoyed it. I don't think you had to make it like Batman vs Superman where it's all plotty and it just doesn't work. Instead, you can do a simple story and still make it a great movie, in my opinion. But also, the villain, I will say, is the one gripe I have about the movie. I thought Ares just wasn't that great. When he put on his armor and it was all CG, it just looked so fake that I couldn't get into it a little bit. I wasn't really all there, but it isn't so much that you're gonna hate the movie. He's just a really small part and it doesn't really matter all that much. I will say the fighting scenes, though, are really awesome in this movie. Even when the slow-mo happens, I do enjoy most of it. And I will say I love Steve Trevor in this too. He was never a character that stood out to me in the comic books or the animated series, but in this, he really stood out. It was really good. Chris Pine did a great job. And then, last but not least, the number one, this is my favorite DCEU movie, and I gotta say, this is not like a lot of other people's rankings probably. I'm probably in the far minority on this, but I love Man of Steel. I think this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. That's my opinion. There's gonna be a lot of you guys disagreeing with me, but I love this movie so much. General Zod, I thought, was handled perfectly. Superman himself, I will say, now really looking back on it, he didn't really say a lot, but I still didn't have that big of a deal watching this movie when he didn't say a lot of dialogue, which was really surprising because it's Superman. When he put on the Superman suit, he wasn't fully Superman yet. He's like Superman for a day. So I think people were expecting him to be just like the Richard Donner Superman or something like that, but that's just not true. Like, this is a completely different Superman. They did a completely different take on him. Fighting scenes were amazing. I always wondered whenever I watched a Superman movie, they never showed you the fighting scenes of what would really happen if Superman really cut loose and he actually had to beat someone just as powerful as him. We got that in this, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. And all the stuff on Krypton, I really enjoyed as well. That's like the first 20 minutes, and that's something I loved because I hated all the crystal stuff that they did in the Richard Donner Superman. So I was really happy that they were like, no, we're gonna get a little more in detail with it. Given that that Richard Donner Superman did come out in the 70s, I still wanted to see more of Krypton, even from the comic books, and I felt like this movie gave us that, and that's something that I love it. And gotta love Russell Crowe as Jor-El. He was just fantastic. But Webheads, let me know all your rankings down in the comments section below. I want to hear your opinions on this. If you guys want more ranking videos, definitely check out this playlist right over here. If you guys want more on the DCU going forward with Aquaman coming out, definitely consider subscribing down below and turning on the bell notification. But Webheads, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.